My name is Amy Gaudion. I'm an associate professor of law at Penn State Dickinson Law. What professors are doing matter. As legal educators, we sit at the nexus of power and understanding necessary for change. My concern in my writing was to ensure that we didn't stop at the promises and the words of commitment that we were making in the days and weeks following the murder of George Floyd, but that we moved from words to action, that we did the difficult, the often unglamorous and often tedious work of implementing those promises, those words of commitment. The first chapter is called Identifying Antiracist Curricular Touchpoints, Embracing Bureaucracy to Accomplish Change. And this chapter, which builds on that earlier work, describes Penn State Dickinson Law's initial efforts to craft actions in support of its words of commitment to become anti-racist educators and to develop an anti-racist legal curriculum. It identifies investments in curricular policy and reform and efforts to create anti-racist curricular touchpoints, both fixed and fluid, across the 3 years of the JD degree program. It then goes on to detail the bureaucratic processes necessary to accomplish those changes. And it looks in particular at the role of administrators, right? And particularly the role of the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs in such projects. And it concludes with a proposal for building a sustainable architecture for these curricular efforts. The second chapter is called Delivering an Anti-Racist Curriculum, Equipping Faculty and Staff with the tools needed to become anti-racist legal educators. So again, recognizing that idea, right, that as legal educators, we sit at the nexus, right, that ability to accomplish change. We have the privilege of our positions and the responsibility, right, to engage in change. And so this chapter focuses on equipping our faculty and staff colleagues with those tools, right? It describes the phase and the iterative work required to deliver an anti-racist curriculum. It outlines how academic administrators, again, particularly associate deans, contribute by creating space, time, and a medium for listening and learning. It also talks about academic administrators having to take on the often tedious, as I said, and unglamorous, but equally important scheduling, logistics, technical tasks that are associated with ensuring that their faculty and staff colleagues have the space, time, and means to engage in the work of becoming anti-racist legal educators. This chapter describes the mechanisms for equipping faculty and staff with the tools that they need to deliver an anti-racist curriculum and create a sustainable educational community. ADI, or the Antiracist Development Institute, is an opportunity for us as legal educators to collaborate and to gather together and to really think about how we put in place these commitments and these desires, right, to continue to grow. And the reason why that's so valuable is because this is just a first step, right? The opportunity to really think about how we change the legal academy and the way we engage in legal education then needs to grow into how we change the profession, right? How the legal profession changes, and ultimately, right, how we accomplish change within our societies. Lawyers sit in a unique and powerful position in our society, right? They are tasked with having an understanding not just of our system of government, right, and our laws and the importance of the rule of law, but also with explaining that, right, to non-lawyers and with talking about the rule of law with non-lawyers. And so the Antiracist Development Institute gives us that space to gather and to collect and to think about these things, not just in the context of legal education, but beyond.